get that it makes you feel nice. I get that you watched my song twice. I get that you just came to see. She played and wrote, oh, can we all agree? But your compliment won't pay my bills. Your cat calls don't give me any thrills. I know who I am, plain as day. Show up, share support, come stay and play. Stay and play. Stay and play. Stay and play. Funny thing to embrace the dark, befriend it, then bring in the spark. I feel light, dark cannot hold me. Find truth, love, sanctuary. Lovemore said that it is all a gift. Connect to me, I've got your assist. I don't wanna do this solo. Baby, worry not, you're in the flow. Stay and play. Stay and play. Stay and play. Art is not hard. Don't get me started. Swimming upstream, that's the hard thing. Hard thing. Hard thing. Hard thing. Minor adjustment. He was my favorite person. The one I'd always go to for sage counsel, healing, health advice, to soundboard my creative ideas, work, songwriting, filmmaking, music, dance. My crazy ideas, to talk about physics, the cosmos, the nature of the universe, the mysteries of life. But especially and most significantly, the one I would go to when the world and humans didn't make sense. The title of the show is The Widow Lovemore. It's not a mystery. Widow is in the title. So let's get the ending square. Marcus Lovemore died November 4th, 2017, in Los Angeles at the age of 45 due to unknown etiology kidney disease. Most kidney patients last about 7 years. With a transplant, that can go up to 12 or 15. Marcus was on dialysis for 20 years. Everyone knew he was dying except me. I was mostly in denial. I mean, I knew it was statistically likely he would die. We both knew. We talked about it, but he kept surviving, waking up after surgeries, clearing one infection after another. Surprisingly, shockingly, he was joyful, grateful, loving, and continued to be optimistic that he would heal right up to the moment he was gurneyed off to the surgery from which he would never wake. But this story isn't about the ending.
Tears come before sleep, and I'm waiting for you. I drift into myself, familiar now. I come home. Oh, 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 I will survive somehow without you. Darkness fills with sparks, and I can no longer see. You gave me life, Mother, and now you take it back from me.
No, just the stands of the mic. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. So it rained. It wasn't supposed to rain. And it was supposed to tell me that it was going to rain, it being, I don't know what, the sky, was supposed to tell me it was going to rain earlier today. And 10% turned to this. So thanks for bearing with me in all this. We're getting baptized. Marcus was born 5 years after Loving v. Virginia. Does anyone know what that is? Like 2 or 3 people in the audience. Loving v. Virginia was the Supreme Court ruling that made interracial marriage legal. It was 1967. He was born in 1972. His mother was African, Portuguese, native islander Jamaican, and was a singer, dancer, actress, and ran a talent agency. His father was Irish-German, born in Michigan, and was an actor, director, and owned the first skate and bike rental shop in Hermosa Beach, just south of Los Angeles. Marcus was precocious, smart, athletic, obsessed with superheroes, magic, and he loved skating and biking, so his father owning a skate rental shop was perfect. His parents could tell he was different, so at age 12, his mother brought him to UCLA to get his IQ tested. It was over 160. When asked if he wanted to skip school and go straight to college, he said, "Nah, that usually screws people up socially. I'll do school." Like most highly intelligent children, his emotional intelligence needed time and life experience to catch up. So by age 7, he was having chronic panic attacks. I didn't understand why people were being so horrible to each other, so destructive to themselves, to each other, to the earth. And I wanted to be a superhero, do magic. Maybe that's how I can make sense of and help out in this strange world. So Marcus went to the famous Bodhi Tree bookstore, which was a couple blocks from their house in West Hollywood, and asked for and got a book on magic. And the author stated that the best way to be a wizard was through self-mastery. And the best way to do that was through meditation. So, again, he's 7, goes back to the bookstore, gets a book on meditation, and starts meditating an hour a day. When he tells me this story, I intervene. You can't even get most 7-year-olds to brush their teeth, let alone meditate an hour a day. It took away my panic attacks. That was all the incentive I needed. Really? Like an hour a day? How long did this go on? Yeah, an hour a day. I'd skip a day here and there, but pretty much an hour a day till I was 12. Then I did 2 hours a day because I wanted to be smarter. Yeah, will you adjust the mic? It needs to be higher. Thank you. I got him. I got a man who's sweet as honey. I got a man who treats me right. I got a man who loves me so well, morning, noon, and night. If you wanna tap this honey, if you want inside, let's try a little harder. Harder does me right. Oh, oh, la di di do, da do do da 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 do do da 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 do do da da do do da do do. I got a secret I ain't sharing, hidden behind my eyes. I got stories you can't think of, dreams and otherwise. If you wanna get this honey, if you want inside, let's try a little harder. Harder does me right. Oh, oh, oh. La di di do, da do do da 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 do do da 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 do do da da do do da do do. I was born in Duluth, Minnesota, to parents who were also born in Duluth, Minnesota. Yeah. Oh, this is a show to make noise, so make noise. It's really okay. I can take breaks for you to make noise and repeat myself and slow down. So I was born in Duluth, Minnesota, to parents who were also born in Duluth, Minnesota. I've since realized that my parents are sort of demi-celebrities, which might not be saying a lot for Duluth. It's only 90,000 people. But basically, I couldn't go anywhere without someone knowing my parents. My mom is a Serbian-Russian American, singer, dancer, good athlete, and an academic. She taught English and music and spent the last 18 years of her public school teaching career teaching at Alternative Learning Center, ALC, nicknamed by the locals, Asshole's Last Chance. My mom would say, you know, these aren't bad kids. And it's not that they're dumb or nothing. They just have a different learning style. And it's my job to figure out how they learn so I can teach them. She also taught one day a week at the county jail. At first she was nervous about this, scared, but then she looked forward to her time. Oh, with the guys. You know, most of these guys had terrible childhoods, so they went to drugs and alcohol to deal with their trauma. But in jail, you know, they're sober, so they're real nice guys. I mean, the other day I was getting up on a chair to get something off the shelf, and they were right there protecting me, making sure I wouldn't fall. My dad would call me and say, oh, boy, your mom's vocabulary sure has expanded since she started working at the jail. She dropped her first F-bomb at 5 a.m. this morning. You know, considering growing up, they didn't curse in her house at all. I mean, they said, pass gas for fart, for Pete's sake. She sure has come a long way. My father is Scandinavian, but those who know him know he kind of looks like a Viking. He's this big, barrel-chested, warm, friendly, kind-hearted guy, very popular and beloved teacher for 36 years in Duluth. And he also coached football, track, and softball. They're who I come from. All I knew, my first memory maybe starting around 3, was that I loved movies, stories, music, dancing, singing. When I saw The Wizard of Oz and Annie, I wanted to do what they did. So at every family function, I would sit on the piano next to my mom, who was playing the piano, and I was little, so my feet are just dangling there on the piano bench. And my dad would bring me a turkey baster microphone at my demand, and I'd sing. The sun'll come out tomorrow, bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. And the second of my top 2 hits at 3, Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. But like Brené Brown talks about, I wanted to do this so badly and did. I recorded albums and played gigs, but I felt so vulnerable and uncomfortable with self-promotion and going bigger that in the past I would ease up, lift my foot off the gas. This show is me creating a different pattern. Doing it differently. Marcus was one of the first people to really believe, encourage, and celebrate me. He helped me realize that being an artist, expressing myself through music, dance, stories, was in my DNA, like my bone structure or eye color, but that it was also a daily choice to show up for myself as an artist over and over again. I don't know so many things, but I know that I was born drenched in music and melodies, like sunlight to the morn. I don't know sometimes the best way for me to go. I don't know so many times how to put on the best show, but I'll come back to you. I'll come back every time to you. I'll come back, I'll come back, I will come back to you. About 10 years after I moved to California, San Diego for college, then LA for film and TV production and music. I'd been learning and exploring meditation, personal growth, Kundalini since around age 19. I get this from my mom. She's a seeker and very open and curious. But my dad is actually quite spiritual too. For many years, he's been talking about his parents and my maternal grandparents and saying that they're, in the extended family, anybody who's died, are angels watching over those of us who are still here. Honestly, I kind of dismissed it for many, many years. And it was only after Marcus died and he said, well, Marcus has you and your mom and Mike, my brother, because he's a really strong angel. Did I realize that my dad, the veteran football coach who coached for 26 years, had a roster of angels that were protecting and guarding those of us who are still here. My father's been coaching angels. I think that's so cute. Being from these people, loving, curious, unconventional, even if they were in disguise, spiritual, contributed to me being a seeker of spiritual answers and learning. So in 2008, about 10 years after I'd moved to California, I got a master's degree in spiritual psychology. It was kind of a hybrid program of spirituality and healing arts and divinity. It was a unique program. And I also that same year got my yoga teacher training. And so one of my teachers was having this fundraiser, this party. Marcus was there. He had donated a month of his martial arts classes. I knew the guy running the auction, so I got my bid in at the right amount and timing. A bunch of us stayed late, playing music and hanging out. my jeans I acquiesce, and this here silk dress I'm here to confess. Baby, all I wanna wear tonight is you, is you, is you. I'll turn into a beggar, won't hide the sugar, 'cause you are my trigger. Baby, all I wanna wear tonight is you. Feeling rushing over me, our senses flying fancy. Hit the ground running, stop. Don't stare, look away. I can't see straight. Throw out the defense, throw out the game plan. There's too much talking here to get things done. Don't you know, how could you not know I love you? Baby, all I wanna wear tonight is you. Months later, after we were in love, Marcus revealed to me, before you started singing, I said a silent prayer, please let her be good, please let her be good. Also, I had a checklist of qualities and attributes I was looking for in a woman. She has to have a thing, a passion, and is good at it. She has done meditation and personal growth work. Check. She is tall and athletic and fit and healthy. You're kind of short for an Amazon. I wanted somebody over 6 feet, but check. She has a good relationship with her parents. Check. And I was ninja dating you the whole time. This is something he invented and explained. With strong, straightforward women, you can't come in with a full frontal courtship. You got to come in under the radar. Get them to fall for you without realizing it, and then you're in. That's exactly what happened. I thought of him as my martial arts teacher, and kind of a friend, but obviously he never got stuck in the friend zone. He was smart, talented, confident, kind, funny, handsome. He wasn't offended by my sense of humor, and I could talk to him about anything. I loved that. About 5 months in, I realized I was in love with him. And then immediately thought, crap, I can't be in love with someone on dialysis. But I'd experienced other kinds of relationships. Men doing that emotional pull-away thing that humans do, especially men. You know, they might be in the room, but they're emotionally gone, disconnected. I never knew you didn't love me like you said you did. Never knew I was the kiss of death. I never knew my own lie could be so splendid. Never knew you'd take my breath. In and out of love, it's the oldest story. Every time you go, you twist the knife. I want nothing if not something extraordinary. So I'll wait patiently for once in my life, 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 for once in my life. Wipe down the keyboard. I hated that emotional distancing thing. It felt like a punishment. Marcus never did that. It was refreshing, liberating. No matter what I was doing or saying, he stayed present, grounded, in the room. We had arguments, but I never felt shut down or shut up by him. If I were getting frustrated or loud during an argument, he'd calmly say, "Your words are important to me, but it's hard for me to hear you at that volume or tone. Can you modulate, or can we revisit this later?" This mastery of self, freedom, and clean communication allowed us to relax into being in love. I didn't walk on eggshells, careful of his temper or reaction to something I inadvertently said or did. About 2 years into our relationship, after marveling to one of my female friends about this, that he didn't do that emotional manipulation thing, she asked him about it, how or why he didn't do this. His response, "Why would I want to receive less love?" During one of our raw, honest conversations, given his life expectancy was uncertain because he was on dialysis, I told Marcus, "If you kick the bucket, I might just go to a monastery or an ashram in India or something and just grieve and meditate just for however long it takes. That'd be great, but I kind of hope you have lots of fun, lots of sex, lots of adventures. Put yourself out there as an artist, dancer, musician. Have a big, beautiful life." He was my greatest teacher. It's hard to coalesce what I learned from him, but it feels significant that he taught me how to love more fully, how to live, how to die, especially how to love myself. From there, anything is possible. We're gonna wipe down the stage, so y'all just hang out for a minute. Move to the seats that are empty up here. I hate seats that are empty in the front. It's just a pet peeve. There's empty chairs. Move up, please.
I don't mind if you don't want to stay. I'll invite you in anyway, just to see what will come. Draw a breath and turn down the light. There's no give up chocolate, I'd give up chocolate, I'd give up all chocolate for the taste of love, for the taste of love. I will keep all breathing still, resuscitate as well if the need be. I believe in happy endings. I'll sacrifice nothing for this life I see. I give up chocolate, I'd give up chocolate, I'd give up all chocolate for the taste of love, for the taste of It's not that I won't taste, but with you on my lips, I will survive. Oh, it's not that I have blind faith with this love that'll find. I will I give up chocolate, I'd give up chocolate, I'd give up all chocolate for the taste of love, for the taste of I don't mind if you don't want to stay. I'll invite you in anyway, just to see what
I don't know what's after that. What's not on the program is That's Zook, if anyone curious. The last year of Marcus's life was beyond hard. The last 8 months, his weight averaged 125. He was 5'9", his healthy weight being about 160. He was sometimes throwing up 6 times a day. So I kept a vomit log, tracking the volume and frequency in these bags we got from the hospital, trying to see if any of our interventions, enemas, nutrition, supplements, enzymes, sodium thiosulfate, ozone, castor oil, essential oils, healing herbs, juices, everything from his healing toolkit and extensive research made any difference. It's worth noting that for the first 8 years of our relationship, he managed his kidney condition remarkably well. No hospitalizations, a small handful of infections that he cleared quickly. There were compromises and big disappointments. We never were able to get pregnant and have children. And it affected our lifestyle, took a lot of our financial resources. We spent money on healthy food, supplements, alternative healers and therapies. Travel was hard. I won't pretend he was perfect. His genius and possible Asperger's made him a little socially awkward at times, and he would miss subtle human emotional cues. He was often tired from dialysis, but he took 0 medications and seemed otherwise healthy, joyful, grateful, confident he would heal. True to form, he was supportive of me while he was really sick. Go, meditate. I'm good. Play music. Go out, dance, bike. Go to the gym. Go play with your friends. Have fun. It'll help you with the stress of all of this. Just check in later. For the first 8 years, he did home dialysis. But due to a severe infection 8 months before he died, he had to go to a facility to get dialysis 3 times a week, 3.5 hours each time. I drive him because he couldn't with his foot and pain and everything that was going on. And I would drop him off at dialysis and go home and try to be productive, work and deal with doctors and insurance and do chores. But I was just so distracted and like panicky while he was at dialysis. I couldn't focus. So I went to the gym. He encouraged this, of course. My routine, I would meditate for an hour, do interval training, hit the heavy bag, martial arts, he taught me, do the Tibetan 5, my favorite yoga sequence, sauna, and shower. This kept me sane, kept me functioning, if at times it just felt like barely. And he taught me a lot of this, designed this healthy lifestyle, gave me mindfulness practices. Now, every time I look in the mirror, I say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To him, to myself, to whatever helped me get through that. Wait, don't tell me. Your eyes can show me. Your hands will know me better than I know myself. Wait, don't tell me. Your laugh will warm me. Your voice will form me. Make our love our greatest wealth. And it's all because of the quiet wonder, all because of the summer thunderstorm. I adore, I adore. I did that song at his memorial. In his 20 years on dialysis, he was on the transplant list and off, and then on again. Transplants aren't perfect, especially for someone as unique as Marcus. He was mixed race and didn't have any siblings and didn't have a familial match, so he would have had a cadaver kidney and had to take anti-rejection drugs, which are horrible and liver toxic. And his liver worked great. He didn't want to mess with that. Transplant kidneys usually last about 5 to 7 years, then back on dialysis, and now the patient often has both kidney and liver issues. Also, when he had a transfusion early in his experience with this, he rejected it, going into a 45-minute grand mal seizure. So he was uncertain that his body would even accept the donor kidney. His plan was to be as healthy as possible. So he researched relentlessly and did everything he could, modifying his diet and lifestyle without so much as a hiccup. So when medical technology caught up, or he found the right healer or healing modality, he would be ready. He saw his kidney failure as a gift and his greatest challenge. For work, Marcus taught martial arts, meditation, did some visual arts, graphic design, and was a health, nutrition, and performance expert. So he used his experience dealing with his own condition to be more effective, helpful, and compassionate towards his clients. Most kidney patients have to take Epogen. Anyone know what that is? There you are, girl. Epogen is the blood doping drug that Lance Armstrong made super famous. Yeah? Raise your blood cell count. So Marcus got off Epogen by eating 10 to 15 raw eggs a day. He called it the snot diet. I could do like 6 or 8 in a day with a chaser, but that was my max. He did the same thing with his kidney clients. Anyone that had kidney failure, they had the regular doctors and everything, but they'd come to him for, nutrition and stuff. He got them off Epogen too, with the same thing, if they were willing to do it. But it wasn't just kidney clients. One client was HIV positive. He did a total overhaul. He tested negative. That's some Magic Johnson level stuff. Another client had a 3-centimeter inoperable brain tumor. Doctors threw everything they could at her, radiation, chemotherapy. When that wasn't working, the tumor was actually increasing in size. She was 32, by the way. She was given 6 weeks to live. And by the way, if you somehow survive, you'll never have children, is what they told her. Total overhaul. She's still alive. It's been over 10 years, and she has a healthy daughter. These overhauls always included forgiveness and self-love. I know they say, don't say never. I know they say you never know. I know they say you can't save the world. But I know, I've been around the world a bit. Though I've got a lot to learn, this I know. Never, 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 never give up on love. I say never, 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 never give up on love. August 2017, about 2 months before he died, Marcus was at UCLA Hospital, where the vascular surgeons did a second angiogram on Marcus's left leg. Does anyone know what an angiogram is? All right, we got a couple. Forgive my layperson's description. An angiogram to me sounds like some sort of happy telegram for Angie. It's not that. Surgeons insert a thin probe deep into the patient to reach an artery for 2 purposes: diagnosis and treatment. Assess where the blockage is and open or clear the artery. It's worth noting here that I was very engaged in this whole process. My primary work has been as a commercial documentary television event producer and teacher, which included working in logistics, management, research, art department, budgeting, directing. I'm good at problem solving, being a part of a team, and bringing a project to fruition. Once things got bad around December 2016 and really bad February 2017, I did what I knew how to do, one of the things I do best. I project managed or produced my husband's death for the last year of his life, taking meticulous notes, knowing every medication and doctor's name and all of it. It's okay. August 2017. Enough digressions. 2 months left. The angiogram doctor says, the second angiogram was unsuccessful, so it's time we start talking about amputation of your left leg. People do better with an amputation just below the knee. Your blockage is right around the ankle, but that's really the best place to amputate. I heard it all, but then wah, 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 wah. He became some sort of Peanuts adult cartoon character. I heard nothing after amputation except my own mind screaming, no, 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 not his leg. He's a martial artist. You can't take his leg. He's an athlete. But I remained poker-faced while Doc Cut It Off, as I've come to call him, continues talking. I'll leave you two to discuss. As Doc Cut It Off leaves and my mind continues to race and fight, my eyes land completely on Marcus. I can see his wheels spinning. My memory flashes to a documentary we watched about a competitive rock climber who got stuck in a cold climate and had to have his leg amputated at the knee. He went back to competing within a year, and his cohorts complained that his prosthetic and decreased weight gave him a competitive edge. He was actually better at rock climbing after losing his leg. So the first thing I say to him, not more than 30 seconds after Doc Cut It Off leaves, is, "You're thinking about taking up rock climbing, aren't you?" Yep, it's the best sport if you're missing a leg.
Hunched over, I feel the strain. My thoughts have put on me once more. Curse again in realization. Walk into the house of her as my hands hold my head, the weight increases and it never ceases to amaze me how you show me, know me. let you hear me near me. As I sleep tonight to your voice, maybe I'll dream of you and your eyes as they see through me. And I wonder sometimes, would it be you who breaks me, takes me? And I wonder sometimes.
This mic needs Viagra. I was never really any kind of believer, but more a true seeker and skeptic. Someone who is open-minded to evidence and experience, but not attached to any belief or disbelief. In 2003, I worked on a documentary at an atheist convention. I remember thinking, they talk about atheism and believe in it in the same way that Christians or other religious people talk about their religion. They believe in the same way. I wanted to, but didn't feel any kind of certainty or comforting belief system that was definitive about God and death. I was raised in two churches, a lovely community Methodist church that I still go to at the holidays and when I'm home in Duluth. And I was baptized and raised at a Serbian Orthodox church. Večnaya pamjat, večnaya pamjat, večnaya pamjat. That means eternal memory. I've dabbled, practiced, and studied quite a few religions, modalities and philosophies: Judaism, Catholicism, spiritual psychology, Qigong, meditation, science of mind, Buddhism, Kundalini, transcendental meditation, atheism, agnosticism, Tantra, Taoism, just to name a few. None of these gave me the enviable conviction, the certainty of knowing what happens when I or someone I love dies. Around 4 p.m. November 3rd, the surgeon came into the hospital waiting room and told me and a group of supportive friends that Marcus's abdomen was unlike anything he'd seen in 30 years as a surgeon. The calcium that coated his entire peritoneal sac and organs was cutting into Marcus's intestines. The shards of calcium were actually cutting the surgeon's gloves. He said Marcus was unlikely to ever wake from the post-surgery coma. My world went black. I lost all sense of time, space. All was gone. I know that I cried and screamed because later my voice was sore. But I wasn't really there. don't have any kind of cohesive memory. It felt black, senseless, timeless, heavy, deep. I came to some immeasurable amount of time later on cold hospital linoleum floor. I reached up and found a hand there to help me stand. Somehow I'd gone to the floor. The floor, the chair, and my body no longer able to hold me in any kind of upright position. I was a zombie the rest of that day. I don't remember eating. Don't recall conversations I certainly had with friends and hospital staff. I do remember going into the ICU where he was hooked up to a ventilator. He felt deep inside of himself, in his own cavern, only breathing because a machine made it so, comatose like the doctor said. A friend brought me to her house to sleep, which I didn't do much of. Loved ones cannot sleep with their person at the ICU. Around 3 a.m., November 4th, I got this strange, supernatural message that Marcus was no longer stuck in his body. Just like when he was living, and from years of meditation and mindfulness and non-attachment, he became unattached to his physical body and felt free. A short while later, I started yet another crying spell. What I heard next shocked me, but also felt familiar. I heard Marcus's voice through my consciousness. He was yelling at me, not angry, more loudly so I would hear, trying to break through. It's all a gift. Without missing a beat, I argued. Even your death, even this pain, no, I don't want this. It's not a fucking gift. Yes, especially the pain. It's all a gift. Later, I found out that around the same time I was having my first cosmic argument with Marcus, he visited 2 other people that night. One, a decades-old friend and student. One, a new friend who said it felt like he bit her hand. That sounds like something Marcus would do. Later that day, I was in the ICU with his body while the respirator forced air into his lungs. He felt happy, free. I saw him in my mind's eye as though he were flying and smiling, full weight, full health, saying, "Whee!" My heart sings, my voice rings, my arms wings when I'm with you. My face glows, my body knows, my love flows when I'm with you. I'm building castles out of sand. I'm building swords in harder hand. Love is special that way. So we can love and dance and are here. I realized pretty quickly, and I didn't make this up. See, I was put on a wide-angle lens. I call it the macro perspective. Life is filled with minute choices and detailed minutia, so much so that it can overwhelm us. Experts call it decision fatigue. To mitigate this, I train myself to look at the gross or macro options in a situation and coalesce my big picture choices. It is usually 2 or 3 things. Here's an example. In February 2017, for the first time that year Marcus almost died, I remember thinking, well, there are really only 2 choices. I stay, and he dies with us, or we break up. He's in no position to help me. That's not going to happen. So there are 2 options. I stay or I go. Leaving him. Both options felt devastating. So I asked myself, what's the least worst option? Staying, no matter what happened. Staying with him was the least worst option. So on this, his final day, the day I became some sort of unintentional channel, I perceived 2 options. I am either completely making this up and maybe crazy, or Marcus is communicating with me. I've never felt communication from a deceased loved one. Sure, I'm spiritual, I meditate a lot, but I've never thought of nor identified myself as a channel. But I felt him die with love, radical acceptance, freedom, joy, gratitude, while communicating with me. In the last hours of his body having a heartbeat, I felt this sensation of him standing next to his body. It was as though he bent over at the waist and dipped his consciousness inside. Looking around, assessing. With all the emotion of an insurance adjuster, I heard him say through my consciousness, "Yeah, this body's no good. It's not my home anymore. It's condemned. It's been used up. I don't live here anymore. This is not my home." But your skin, your lips, your heart, I left you in this body. I want you to stay. Get better, please. Me too. I loved you in this body, but this body's no good. It's been used up. This is not my home anymore. I wept, holding his warm but unresponsive hand, feeling the truth resonate. Well aware I could be making this up. But it felt as real as any touch, sight, or sound sense I've ever experienced. It's all a gift? That's the last thing I would have said to myself if I were making this up. His death was liberating, devastating, peaceful, painful, relief. He died as he lived, with flair, joy, gratitude, connection, and with love.
eyes are close to dreaming, and all the world is seeming so far away, but you don't have to fear. Ponies will go prancing, and fairies go on dancing in dreams tonight, but I'll be safely near. This lullaby is yours, the night as well, of course. Take all the love I have. There's more.
At his memorial, I said, he loved me as an evolving being, not based on who I was when we met, last week or last year. It was as though every day he asked himself, what can I find to delight in about this creature? What do I choose? Joy, love, connection, or irritation, being right? I could be irritated at the tissue she leaves on the floor sometimes, the small clusters of hair on the shower wall. I was trying not to clog the drain, and sometimes I'd forget to clean it up. Or I could make art. I could delight in her quirky asymmetrical hairdo, forgive her occasional messiness, enjoy her tangential communication style, and left field questions about physics and the nature of the universe. And what he did with my hair, he'd take pictures of it and then make digital abstract art out of it. It's on his Instagram. Like the name he chose for himself, he was choosing to love more every day. If I hadn't lived with him for almost 9 years, I would not have believed it. One of the things I loved best about Marcus was his sense of humor, how playful he was. But the kidneys help regulate blood pressure, so once in a while when we were laughing really hard or I was being particularly funny, he'd laugh so hard that he would lose consciousness. Once he even cracked his tooth, a small fracture, from falling forward at the table we were sitting and hitting his face. This terrified me, of course, so I made a rule. When we're out in the field and laughing, not like in the bed or on a couch or something soft, we have to hold each other when we laugh, which makes you laugh harder. In case you lose consciousness and pass out, I can hold you up so you won't hurt yourself, is what I rationalized to him. We laughed a lot. We held each other a lot. In the final months of his life, he was in so much pain that it actually hurt to touch and be held. The night before he went into the hospital for the last time, frustrated that I couldn't touch him and that we couldn't hold each other, I propped myself up in the bed and stacked pillows on top of me and all around me, and I laid him upon me, making myself into a human BARCA lounger so he could cuddle with cushioning.
Heart and mind are slowing. The sunset sky is glowing. The earth will turn, the sun will disappear. Galaxies are spinning, the planets are beginning to come to light. The time for sleep is here. The
This lullaby is yours, the night as well, of course. Take all the love I have. There's more. Take all the love I have. Take all the love I have. Take all the love I have. There's more. Communicating with Marcus. It's not like making a phone call. He doesn't always answer, and I don't always hear. And he communicates less than the first weeks and months after he was no longer terrestrial. About a week after he died, surprised that I didn't ask this question right away, I asked him, reaching to him with a deep breath, "Where are you?" His answer was deliberate. Translating from him is sensation, nudges, feeling, tingles. This one, and then translating into English words. This one felt like he was being really deliberate, like a slot machine, scrolling through words until I got to the right one, and then he'd move on to the next word, to get as close as possible to what humans can't really understand. I'm a part of the benevolent, ethereal horde. As defined by Oxford, benevolent is well-meaning and kindly. Ethereal is air, or extremely delicate and light in a way that seems too perfect for this world. Horde is a large group. And then he said, "But humans call it the kingdom of heaven." I get caught up. I get caught up. Forget who I am. Lost in delusion of self-doubt and fear. I start closing up. Can't see my own hands. Stuck in illusions, can't see, can't hear, but we're already here. Trust me this time, love will appear. Heaven is now, breathe, you'll see. It's extraordinary. Heaven is here. Heaven is here. Heaven is here. Heaven is here. This was my one prop that I couldn't remember where I put it. My turkey baster. So there might be. Thank you for coming and tolerating the rain. It's really interesting that it ended like on the last scene in the last song, right? Like we were being baptized or something. So this is the debut of this show. I did a virtual performance back in April, so this really means a lot to me that you all are here. And I really wanted to celebrate this man. So many people get. I've talked to a lot of widows. I have support groups and stuff, and so many people when they have an illness, they get really mean when they're sick, and it's because it's so painful and uncomfortable. He didn't do that, you know. He would like hold my hand in the car, and I could feel him like smiling. I could see him in the rearview mirror because he would sit in the back seat and be like, "Oh, your hand is soft." He would find these little pockets of happiness and joy. And it was so moving for me, and yet so devastating that he died, that I just needed to tell this story. And the few people who have heard this have shared with me their experience of their parent or their loved one dying and how they feel this sense of peace and release from the body. And I'm not a religious person. Those who know me know that, but I need to tell this story. And movement and music was such a big part of it. I would sometimes play for him at the hospital. I'd get on my guitar and play for him. So this is just really special that you're all here. I want you to know how grateful I am to y'all being here. It really means a lot to me. And so if anyone wants to stay, we can check with Ephraim. Thank you, Ephraim. Thank you, MCN6. Ephraim is the owner and proprietor and mastermind behind this space and the art, and just this amazing fella. So please thank him. But although maybe he doesn't like too much attention, so be subtle about it. MCN6 is here doing the live stream and doing video recording. We have some other beautiful people here to help support, and I want to thank all the crew. None of us are getting paid. We're just doing this because they said yes. Oh, stage call. Thanks, Mom. So we're going to do a quick stage call, but while people are coming up here, everyone that's helped me, crew, and anyone that wants to come up here. If you're shy and you don't want to, that's okay. I will give you hugs and kisses later. Maybe through a mask. I don't know. Kissing's weird now. So please come up if you've helped, if you danced and performed. Let's have Topher and Heidi up first. And then the note is that if you want to hang out afterwards and cuddle with masks on or whatever, there's a fire pit here. We might light a little fire with Ephraim's permission and hang out for a little bit and maybe sing some songs with the harmonium. Oh my gosh, my openers. Get up here if you want. Some people are shy. They don't like to be on stage, but my openers and my host and my fellow dancers, thank you for being here tonight. And hang out if you want to. I'll go hang out by the back so you all can say hello if you want to as you leave, so we can say hello if that's nice for you. Thank you.
This is not on. Can you turn this on? Thank you. So if you felt like tonight was a gift for you, the way that you can give back to Katie is go back to the page where you first saw the information on her website, katiestrand.com, and leave a comment. Beyond, this was great, I loved it, it touched my heart. Let her know how exactly it touched you and what your takeaway is. That would be a great gift for her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. What she said.